Hey everybody, welcome to the Crypto Masters Podcast, helping the general public to master an understanding of crypto assets. My name's Brian.
And my name is Ross.
And we are the Crypto Masters. Today we're going to continue our look into investable, decentralized Metaverse projects. Last episode, we discussed 4 Metaverse projects, and this episode we'll cover 2 additional projects, Axie Infinity and Wilder World. Metaverse projects are the current focus of the digital world, so we're all over it.
Yeah, Brian. And you know what? Before we get started, let me be the wet blanket and remind everyone that this is not financial advice.
Wow. Okay. All right. Do your own research. There, we've said
Reminders,
it, Ross.
done.
We've said it, Ross.
So yeah, like we said last episode, the Metaverse projects are the hot topic right now. I mean, if you go on YouTube, there's crazy amounts of Metaverse channels, projects going on. It's crazy. So we want to dive into them and try to figure it out which ones will gain a lot of traction and maybe have an investable token to buy.
There you go. Good idea. So let's get started. The first one on our list is a big one, and it's a revolutionary OG project in the space that really jump-started the play-to-earn model of gaming and Metaverse, and it's Axie Infinity.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't cover it last time. It's the biggest by market cap. You know, it's the biggest decentralized crypto project out there. You know, it depends on how you define Metaverse, but I think it's...
For sure, yeah.
I think it's enough that it certainly merits a discussion here. So let's talk about Axie Infinity, and I'm going to start out giving some background about it, and then we'll go into more about the experience of the Metaverse on Axie.
Bring it on.
All right, so while you're playing Axie, which is a video game, you can make money while playing. The play-to-earn concept. What? Right? The dream of every kid playing video games. Let's look at it. I mean, I remember, Ross, I had a couple of these Atari video games when I was a kid, and I was pretty freaking awesome. And I was thinking then, man, I if there was a championship for this, I think I could compete.
Yeah, make some money. Go,
right.
Change your career.
And then the next step is and make money at it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this is life changing.
Right. It is, and it's a big deal. Well, we'll talk about it some more, but it was really a game changer, Axie Infinity. I mean, it's still going strong. So it was created in 2018 by Sky Mavis, a technology-focused game developer with a team that was primarily based in Vietnam. Its co-founder was Trung Nguyen. Co-founders, Trung Nguyen and Alexander Larson, and both have experience in software engineering and blockchain gaming. And Axie Infinity runs on the Ethereum blockchain. It kind of has a cartoonish look. We'll put it on the screen behind us, but for our listeners on the podcast, it's kind of a cartoonish look
it's like
to it.
2D, cartoony,
it's
bubbly.
Animated. It's not anime, but it's animated.
Yeah.
You know, like it looks like a cartoon.
It's cute, bubbly.
Right.
Makes you want to kind of giggle.
Right.
You know.
But we're really the point of it. We're contrasting it. It's not trying to look realistic like some of the other Metaverse
For
games
sure.
do. Yeah. And so, like I said, we'll show some of it back there, and you can check it out. Because of the play-to-earn feature, which is actually very real, this thing became something of a phenomenon. I saw a piece, a news report that was done, within the past 6 months, and it showed people like in some third world countries where they weren't working because of COVID, and so they actually made their living on this game.
Yeah.
So it's real. The aspect of it is play to earn is not a joke. So I thought that was very interesting. But Ross, let's talk about how the game works. So why don't you tell us about it?
Okay, absolutely, Brian. Well, Axie Infinity features an open-ended, massively flexible gameplay that allows players to collect different digital pets known as Axies, and they're kind of hard to describe. They're kind of little round
creatures,
bubblish balls. They're creatures. Yeah, they're like some have little wings and stuff like that.
They're cute.
But they can be raised, battled, and traded throughout ever expanding Axie ecosystem. But yeah, Axie Infinity is a battle game. It allows users to battle their Axies in a real time environment. So me and Brian could get on, meet up, and throw down an Axie.
Right. And then I would earn, I think, some tokens that we'll talk about.
Well,
later.
if you're playing me, you wouldn't. So, boom, there we go. So yeah, Axie is unique. Each Axie is unique. It's of course an NFT, and that's represented by the ERC 721 token standard in Ethereum. Of course, this is on Ethereum, and each Axie, there's just some kind of random traits about each Axie. For different stats or health, morale, skill, and speed, and these are key in the Axie battle mechanics. Each one, if you have more speed, you can it kind of counters this other person's
It depends
stuff.
on who you're up against and what their strengths and weaknesses are, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And someone might destroy me for saying this, but for me, kind of an outside person looking in and being into Pokemon back in the day, it very much to me has that Pokemon feel.
I think so too.
There's like a water Pokemon and fire and electricity Pokemon.
I got that same feeling based on my somewhat limited but some knowledge of the Pokemon battles. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, the water may have some tactical disadvantage against electricity.
Right.
Maybe the other way around. I don't really know.
It's the same. But it's the same here. Yeah.
But exactly. So that plays a big role, and then each Axie comes with one of either 6 normal classes. So these in Axie world are aquatic, beast, bird, bug, plant, or reptile, and then one of 3 secret classes: dawn, dusk, or mech. And different classes of course have their strengths and weaknesses. And this is just actually a perfect example. So aquatics are strong against beasts, bugs, and mech Axies, but are weak against reptile, plant, and dust Axies. So
yes,
this is not meant to be a full-on tutorial or a game guide by any means. So you can obviously research all that.
No,
but
this
this gives a good general
yes,
idea.
an understanding of how it really works. What do I have to do to earn this? If I'm ever going to earn any cash in this thing.
Exactly. And then some characteristics of each Axie, they have 6 body parts. They have back, ears, eyes, horns, mouth, and tail. And of course, you can that kind of plays into to it as well. And then what's pretty cool is you can also breed to create potentially rare and powerful combinations of your Axies. Of course, I'm sure there's some secret hack type thing. If you breed this Axie that has this back or this eye, it can churn something crazy out. And of course, you can, take those Axies and then sell them, which of course translates into the token, which I think you'll get into a little bit. But this costs, some tokens to actually breed them and stuff like that. So I know you'll get in that to a second.
Right.
There's a calculator available. That's really cool. I'll link that down in the description, and you can use to calculate the odds that an offspring of any 2 Axies will have a certain trait and stuff like that.
Oh, genetics here.
Exactly. Yes. And there's a variety of different in-game resources, and you can trade in the marketplace, and this also includes land, of course.
Yeah, I've heard that. So that makes it kind of metaverse that you can actually buy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of a battle player versus player type deal. So you can't free roam, of course, but
Yeah. Well, interesting. All right. Well, let's look at the tokens. So there are 2 main tokens on the Axie Infinity ecosystem. There's the Axie Infinity shards, but I basically call it Axie. That's AXS. That's the one that's pretty high up on coin market cap. And then sort of more of the in-game token called Smooth Love Potions.
Ooh,
that's SLP. So, as the platform's native governance token, so that's AXS. So AXS holders are, they participate in the decentralized organization or the DAO, and they can help shape the development of the platform. They might decide how treasury funds should be spent, or how the ecosystem fund is allocated. So, there's a DAO aspect to holding the AXS tokens. SLP, on the other hand, is earned by playing the game, and that can be used to breed new Axies, and that's sort of what I think is what you earn when you win a battle. And then, if you need to cash those out for your currency, you can do that.
Yeah, I feel like that's the main thing you're looking to get out of battles and stuff like that to upgrade and breed
you'll get
and
the
do all that stuff.
Right, you'll get the SLP, which then you can kind of use in game again to like you said, like maybe breed some even better Axie where I can win even more battles. But it costs the SLP, the Smooth Love Potion, to do that. So yeah, it's kind of two different tokens, which is actually pretty common in these metaverses that we've seen. They have something like this. So if you were to go out and just say, "Oh, this sounds great. I want to invest in it," that would be AXS
for sure.
That's what's on the on the Coin Market Cap and CoinGecko and things like that.
For sure.
So they're having plans then for staking rewards and even more governance using the AXS tokens. So Ross, here's kind of what I was thinking. What does it take to get started in this game so that you can earn the Smooth Love Potion tokens?
For sure. So I would say out of the other ones I've seen, this one feels at least pretty straightforward. But yeah, I'll get into it. So I've kind of laid
somebody
these
out there says, "This sounds good. I want to play. I want to win money. How do I do it?"
Yeah, so I've kind of got some steps laid out for you. Good. So I'd say step one, I feel like if you're watching this podcast, you might be here already, but you need a wallet, of course, which might be surprising. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you need a wallet to buy the tokens and
like MetaMask,
like MetaMask to connect up to the wallet to the marketplace. And I'd say MetaMask is going to be your easiest because you don't play in browser, but you kind of get everything downloaded and set up. And you do connect to the marketplace with your browser, so MetaMask is a pretty easy choice there. Now, step two, you need a Ronin wallet. That's RONIN wallet to basically store your Axies and other in-game valuables. So you need that Ronin wallet, and that's going to be critical in a step later. But
just another download.
Yeah, and all of this, I'll say the steps for getting set up. I was set up maybe in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It was very quick.
It seemed, I'll be honest, I saw a video. It seemed a little bit complicated. So you're saying don't be daunted by that. It's not that bad.
And I'll link some, more in-depth reviews and stuff like that. But I'd say it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, step 3, you need to then download the Mavis Hub that allows you to download the actual game. And then 4, now from here, you have 2 options based on you having to have 3 Axies to get started and really play the game. This is the critical part where you need that Ronin wallet to connect up to the game and actually play. But you need these 3 Axies because in battle, that's kind of how the player versus player works. You have 3 Axies that kind of battle each other on each side, and then once you kill off your opponent's Axies, then you win the battles. Is a very basic high-level overview, but you need 3 Axies to get started. So your first option there is you can go on the marketplace and buy these Axies. Now, of course, Axie Infinity has skyrocketed. So this is, to get started, you could be looking to spend about $300 just to get started.
As of the date of the podcast.
As the date of this podcast. It could fluctuate and go down, but that, it seems on the surface a free game. I mean, you can open it and look around, but you can't really do anything. So yeah, to get started, at least $300 US, I'd say, to get started. Or now, other interesting option is what is called a scholarship program, and I'll link some more, in-depth things how to get started here. But in general, other players in the game, maybe they've leveled up their Axies or have crazy high level. They have like 50 Axies and they have these 3 they're not really using, so they can kind of loan those out to you, and they'll take part of your profits, part of your love potions as you earn the game. So that's kind of I'd say one of the easier ways to get started, but you eventually, if you're going to play this long term and really, profit from it, as a lot of people do, you want to eventually buy your own Axies.
Get your own to make sure you have the best ones that can compete in the battle arenas, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So. Interesting. Well, that is a cool project, and it was literally a game changer for a lot of people and in the whole crypto world. So let's go on now to project 2, which is sort of at a different stage in the development, and that's called Wilder World. And this is an interesting project. Let me start with some background. A gentleman named Frank Wilder. So Wilder World in itself sounds like that could just be a name, but it's actually a guy, Frank Wilder.
What the coincidence?
Yeah, he had a good name. He got into digital art.
It is a cool name.
In 2013, and then he minted his first NFT in 2017. But before he got into the NFTs, he gained some fame because he created and sold physical totems, which were like 3D necklaces made of, gold, silver, and some precious metals. And so he created some art like that and got a following.
Old school precious metals.
Yeah, exactly. So he got a following around his physical art and even had clients like Justin Bieber, your favorite, and Kevin Durant.
Is it the hair?
You love you some Biebs.
I do.
I will say, and Kevin Durant is the guy is a superstar. I mean, he basically won the U.S. a few gold medals in the Olympics. So
Yeah,
shout
he's
out.
a beast.
Yeah.
Kind of a freak in a way. Just how talented he is, it's just kind of freakish to me. But
right.
you know.
So an important aspect of that's just kind of the background. That's how it got started. Now, an important aspect of this project is something called the Zero Platform in Z Space, which essentially is what Wilder World Project is built on. But once you get into it, you'll be hearing about Zero and Z Space, and so I just wanted to let everybody know what that's about.
Yeah, it's kind of like their social media, we'll say, at this stage aspect of it, you know.
It is, and it's just a sort of a bigger platform that Wilder World is part of. So anyway, so the metaverse, you know, a lot of people think need to have the capability of like taking on the full scale of the internet, because some people think that, you know, Web 2 is the internet, Web 3 is where we're going. So a metaverse has to be able to take on all of that.
Right.
And so that's sort of one of the selling points of Wilder World and the Zero platform that it's built on, is that it can handle the internet scale.
Yeah.
You know, that's billions of players and trillions of unique digital assets. So that is saying a lot. So let me then say something about Z Space, because in Wilder World, you know, it's going to kind of keep growing and growing. And Z Space is made up of universes, galaxies, and worlds. And there's a maximum, but it's a pretty big maximum of those. So there's 1,024 universes. Each universe can have up to 256 galaxies. There's a maximum of 262,144 galaxies. So we're going down. Each galaxy can contain up to 256 worlds. And then there can be 67,108,864 worlds. So you can see they are planning for this thing to be epic. I mean, it really is.
It's very Oasis-esque of the Ready Player One.
Right. So
that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, let's get that out there now. If you've seen or know anything about Ready Player One or read the book Ready Player Two, this is the one that's striving for that.
For sure. Yeah.
And you know, like you know, you and I both read the books, and you know, there's like you can go to a different planet, and that planet is sort of a recreation of, you know, something that actually existed in the real world. So with this setup, you can see that that's a possibility here with Wilder World as well.
Yeah.
So Wilder World, it already has a city called Miami, which is based on the city of Miami, an actual sort of a realistic recreation, at least of the topography and the geography and things like that. And Ross, maybe you can elaborate on that. And they say everything in Wilder World is going to be NFTs. And so there's already some NFTs up and running on Wilder World. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the NFTs within Wilder World. So I'll talk about the sneakers first, because I kind of like the look. I'll put some
Kicks.
up, the kicks, you know, and I'll put some of those.
They're going to be right back here,
me.
probably. Yeah.
But yeah, they have the Air Wilds, were the first collection of sneakers that the Wilders created. There were 99 pairs were put up for auction on September 16th, and this collection of shoes will be wearable by your avatar in the Wilder World. And each pair has been hinted at having, you know, special abilities within the metaverse. And
nice. So more incentive to bid more on them, I guess. I mean, they're only 99. They had to go for a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there is a part in Ready Player One where he puts on, I can't remember which character, they put on some shoes and they just take off down running or something like that. Yeah. So maybe that's one secret ability you'll have with these shoes. And I gotta admit, some actually look really cool. I would love if someone would kind of create these shoes in the real world.
I mean,
they look like some cool kicks.
I mean, it is a thing. There are people who just collect the sneakerheads, they call them, right?
Oh yeah,
and they collect these things. I gotta admit, I'm not into that. I don't really get it.
Yeah,
but I know it exists and it's a big deal. So obviously they're capitalizing on that. It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Well, I might not be in it for just from the financial aspect, because these sneakers are like thousands of dollars
You just
already.
be a collector, right? You get
yeah.
the right one, you hold it, you could sell it 2 years later for a great
They
profit.
could really take off.
Yeah.
But yeah, sneakers is just the tip of the iceberg here. There's also Wilder Wheels.
Now on the webpage though, they call that kicks, right? So you'd see down there, it's called the kicks. And,
Oh yeah. There's kind of bars across the bottom. I'll flash that up, and of course link their
yeah. So the
description.
kicks
at the
are the sneakers, obviously.
Yeah, and I'll talk about Wilder Wheels too. Those launched in October, late October of 2021, so very recently here from this podcast. And Wheels is a collection of about 10,000 cars, and they look freaking sweet. And you can drive them, race them around Miami, of course, and they will be a part of the first play to earn element of Wilder World, as drivers, of course, race others for the ever coveted pink slips. The Wilder pink slips to other people's cars.
Maybe somebody may not understand that if they're either young or in another country.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that basically means, if me and Brian were to race, the winner gets the other's car,
right?
The ownership of their car.
That's a pretty big deal. I mean, it's a really big deal.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it is a way. I mean, similar, I guess, to Axie in some ways. Like that's how you could make money. I'm going to drag race my car and win these other cars. Win them and then sell them.
Win them, sell them, and then everything equates down to a token value, which we'll get into just in a second here. But you can sell those, flip them for ETH, and go on your merry way. But yeah,
cool.
But yeah, I think that's a epic part here, and that's just it's just starting to really show the true value and really the application of NFTs, other than very cute collectible figures like cool cats.
No, I agree 100%. A lot of people, including me, were like, I don't really get the NFTs because we've only focused on sort of the artwork aspect.
Yeah.
Right. Like I could buy a Bored Ape and then I would own it, and I guess I could look at it whenever. But this sort of shows, which is like a piece of art, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
but this sort of shows like more real world applications. When they make up sort of everything in the metaverse, which means kind of like in the real world, it can be bought and sold. That's pretty cool. Or instead of just having a picture of your sneakers, you can actually wear your sneakers, right? Yeah. So that's
like you could own the right to be the only one to actually make those.
You'd be the only one, right? Because it's non-fungible.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's talk about the tokens. So there's a number of tokens in this project.
Yeah, this one's got a couple, right? So.
Yeah, and let me just jump into those. I'll kind of cover it quickly. So loot is one, and that's used for the NFTs in the metaverse, and everything in it from avatars to clothing to vehicles, they're all NFTs, like we said. In order for it to be added to Z-Space, the artist who created it has to buy and stake some loot. So that's sort of a real utility of the loot. The token also enables NFTs to become liquid through a lot of royalty and fractionalization models for creators. And I don't want to get bogged down on fractionalization, but that's, if you couldn't afford, for example, a Bored Ape, that's a tokenization is when you and a group can get together and you can own part of one of these NFTs, a Bored Ape or anything else. So that's a pretty cool aspect of this as well. Loot has an infinite supply, but it's issued on a bonding curve. I don't want to get into that, but it's, as you can see, it's sort of the currency used here. So as the tokens are used, the supply increases and decreases. We've talked about some other projects that have that aspect. Loot is backed by another thing called Infinity tokens, and this is Zero's. So Zero, remember, is kind of the platform that's built on. This is its primary treasury token, which is backed by ETH. And so the price of loot then is stable relative to the price of ETH, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's
almost
nice.
like a stable coin, but to ETH. So you can stake in loot. You have to stake in loot in order to mint some of the new NFTs, which we've talked about. So that's sort of loot.
And may I quickly say, Brian, might be the coolest name for an in-game token.
It's a good name,
right?
yeah.
Loot.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Come on, man, that's awesome.
And then I mentioned how the Infinity token is also part of loot, and that's sort of the Zero's primary treasury token. So the next one is called the Zero token. It's just Zero, It has not launched yet, or it's about to launch, or maybe just launched, but it's coming out any time. And this rewards the citizens of the metaverse sort of every time a new universe launches. So we talked about the different universes that can be out there. So every time a new project joins the Z space and launches its own universe, and it has a token on that platform, holders of Zero are issued a certain amount of the vested token, that it costs for them to do that. So that's a utility of the Zero function. Of the Zero token. The main token in this world is called Wild. That's the one that you can now see and buy on, or you can see it on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. It's specifically for the Wilder World universe. It's used to buy NFTs in the marketplace, and it functions as the currency within the universe. It's also the DAO token owned by the community. It lets you vote on things. If you have Wild, it means you're an official citizen of Wilder World. Oh, yeah. And it gives you share then of the overall revenues, voting rights, and other benefits and rewards. There's a total of 500 million Wild that will ever be issued, and 74 million are now in circulation. So fairly early in the process.
Yeah, and it sounds like if you really believe in Wilder World, and maybe you don't want to play or get involved, but you want to invest in it, you would want to acquire Wild, right? Yeah,
right. And you can get it certainly on Uniswap or the decentralized exchanges, because it is on the Ethereum blockchain, so should be easy to get.
Yeah, currently ranked 219 in market cap, and I don't think we mentioned Axie.
What is its market cap?
Its market cap is 332 million.
So, yeah, pretty small.
Yeah, it's a pretty small one.
But
for sure.
We're pretty early in
the
project, so that kind of makes sense. But it is time, Ross, where we can get into more detail on that kind of thing. For final thoughts on Axie Infinity and Wilder World. And I don't know who's up this time.
I think it's you, Brian.
It's me.
I think it's you.
All right.
Kick it off. Show us what you got.
These were two good projects to discuss, because they're very different, right?
They're polarized.
I mean, they're different in their look, they're different in their focus, they're different in their roadmap, where we are, right? So Axie Infinity, I gotta admit, I've never done it. I mean, I'll admit that, but now that I've sort of done this deep dive, I think I might. My only thing is, I know people are out there, and it's kind of their living. So they're going to be way more into it than I'm ever going to be into it. So I feel like I wouldn't be like competitive. I don't know that I want to be, and I don't really know the level of commitment that it takes. I think it would take a high level of commitment to make money off of it, but that wouldn't be my objective going in, to make
for sure
to live off of the smooth love potion. Now it's investable, and the AXS to me looks like it's certainly had deservedly so a big run up, and I'm usually reluctant to jump in on something that's had a big run up on that. So I probably won't be investing in it myself, at least not now, until maybe something changes with the price and the market cap. But it certainly is investable. It certainly is the leader in. I mean, it really made play to earn a thing, and so it looks really cool. It looks really kind of fun to play. It's not like being in the real world. It's not like being in Ready Player One in the Oasis.
Yeah.
But it's a fun game with, sort of high stakes, or at least real stakes, which makes everything a little bit more fun, right? You and I could play poker for nothing, and it's not very fun. We could play poker when we're actually betting. It becomes more interesting.
It heightens the excitement a lot.
It does. So Axie Infinity, I give a big thumbs up to it.
Okay. And just I'll throw this in there, Brian. Using our Professor Hindsight tool, Criffric, crypto profit calculator. If you put in 1,000 in January of this year, you would have profited 218,000. That's how big this run up has been.
That's
Pretty nice. It went from 50 cents to 117, where
Oh
it's
my gosh.
kind of at now.
So you got that on thecryptomasters.com.
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 Wait, what was that?
I think we heard it. All right. So now let's talk about Wilder World. This thing, to me, at least from all that we're seeing, because it's like not there yet. But from all we're seeing, this to me looks like it could be the biggest and best metaverse out there.
Yeah.
Decentralized. I know that freaking Facebook Meta is going to put out a good freaking product.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to admit that.
Uh-huh.
And I think maybe Microsoft is maybe getting into this too. So, they're going to, they got tons of money. They're going to, but
Yeah,
we want
at
to
this
support
point,
the decentralized ones
Yeah.
for sure. And Wilder World, the look, it looks second to none. I don't think you can beat the look. And the plans, the digital art. It's all sort of done by 3D digital art experts. It's going to be pretty amazing. I think.
it's going to be legit for
Right.
sure.
The only thing is it's we're just very early into it. I'm not a sneaker collector, and
Yeah.
and the wheels thing, again, looks interesting, but it's not something really I'm gonna myself get into. But I would like to get, and I will get into, a metaverse project that promises something like the Oasis, but maybe not quite there. And this one is it. And I'm just really hoping that it does all that it can do, and then we will have it. We will have, and I don't know when this is going to be. That's the thing. The thing about Wilder World is I don't know, based on what I've researched, I don't know when it's going to be realistic metaverse that you can go. It is going to be 3D, it's going to be where you can do the VR glasses and all that, no question. And it's going to be fantastic looking. Just the roadmaps and from what I've tried to get on and do, I don't know when that's actually going to happen. So that makes me a little reluctant to invest in Wild right now. But I can say it looks like this thing could be an amazing project and maybe even jump over the ones we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Star Atlas and Sandbox and Decentraland.
Yeah.
All three of those are solid. Decentraland is actually functioning, which I give it a lot of credit for that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this thing may be superior to all of them if it lives up to what it says it's going to.
Okay.
You take over, man. I babbled on.
No, I like it. And mine's going to be hopefully short but sweet. But, it's really hard to say anything bad about these two projects. I'll dive into Wilder World now. My only frustration is it just feels, I just wish I knew a more solid roadmap. I just can't find one as far as the timeline goes. But from what I've seen, there's no gameplays out right now, but there's a lot of, kind of trailers and hype videos, and this thing just looks very, very legit. And it's built on, the Unreal Engine, which a lot of people are using. Fortnite was built on it.
Yeah, I didn't get into that, so yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, typically games built with this engine, they're really, really, really solid. So
right.
They function well. They look awesome. So if this thing comes out, I'm so, obviously it will. I don't have any doubts about it coming out, but this is going to be really solid. I will be acquiring some Wilder World token because, shoot, it's ranked at 219 right now. It did have a run up this year, but nothing. I don't know. I just think we're pre-launch phase now. There's lots of promises that are going on, and you might think I'm crazy, Brian, but there is some condos in Wilder World available now, and I'm seriously tempted to buy them. They're $2,500 US dollars. I know that's a steep price tag,
like for Unit 205 or something. like that.
Unit 205 in this crazy skyscraper.
Right.
I can't afford the penthouse. There is a penthouse on the top floor with the
more.
helipad. Yeah, so I'm not going for that. But I'm tempted to buy a condo in Miami. But
I don't blame you.
so yeah, this one just I don't know. It just
I
seems
wish,
so
Ross, and I
solid.
know you feel the same way.
Yeah.
I wish I wanted to get into Miami and look around like we did on Decentraland, but we could not figure out how to do that. And I think you determined that you can't do it unless you got in on some early project.
Yeah, and seriously, comment, shoot us an email, hit us up on Twitter, let us know if you've been able to get on, or apparently there's a kind of a closed opening right now that some people can get on and try it out. But I don't know how to, I don't think you can get on right now. That's kind of a blind spot in my vision of this project.
Yeah.
And of course, quickly mention Axie Infinity. This thing looks awesome. I'll be honest, I haven't got on yet. I don't have my 3 Axies yet, but I'm really thinking about at least starting to try to play, because I think I could at least get a return on my investment of buying the 3 Axies,
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about getting on, starting to play that a little bit.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we'll battle each other.
Yes, we should. And I've seen some people now, I don't have like a, hours per day they played to get this, but I've seen anywhere from like $30 a day to like, $60-70 a day, 70 US dollars, that they're making on this thing. I mean, in other, especially other countries, that's a solid living.
I saw a news
really
story about a guy in the Philippines who lost his job due to COVID. Working at a some sort of store that had to close, and literally he did it from morning to night. And he was a pretty old guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just an awesome story that they
but he ended up, I think he said he made more than he made when he was working at the store. Like which is not a lot of money, in our terms, but like you said, if it's $30 a day, that's good.
Yeah,
some
that's
places
really,
in the world,
other than the Philippines, that's really solid.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Axie Infinity, the team, said they're going to build a play-to-earn game, and they delivered, and it's up and running smoothly. It looks awesome. It's cartoony. It's fun. Yeah.
I mean, and I'd like to say on Axie Infinity, if you like Pokemon, the game, this is like that, 3D times 4. You know what I mean? It's like takes that and just really amps it up, and they get all kinds of credit from me, Axie Infinity, because they changed the game. I mean, they really did. They deserve credit for that, and they got credit for that with the big run up in the price. So these are 2 great projects.
I'd honestly be super curious to hear someone's gripe with Axie Infinity. Like, what do you not like about it? I seriously can't think of
there's
something
probably
I don't
some
like
things,
about it.
but that's a fair question. Because we're not on there every day.
Yeah.
Somebody
Maybe
on there every day, like, oh, maybe it's luck of the draw. My genetics thing didn't work out, and it cost me money. I don't know. I'm just throwing out an example. So
no, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I
hear
can
from
see
the
you not.
comments.
Yeah, comment down below. Let us know what you think. So
all right.
Yeah.
Good deal. Hey, everybody, we went a little long again, but that's the metaverse
gets us talking. Brian.
There's just a lot going on in the metaverse. So, hey, we'll be back again on the Crypto Masters with either some token or maybe more metaverse. We'll see what the public wants.
And if you like this video, this podcast, follow us. Please follow us. Comment down below. Let us know if there's another project you'd like us to cover. And check out thecryptomasters.com. More features added every day. Well, maybe not, but they're getting added. So check it out.
Cryptomasters.com.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time.